Hi guys, Goddess KDB here. Have you seen the new movie on Hulu called Bad Hair? It was released about a week ago. One of my subscribers mentioned it to me and I watched it and I had to review it on YouTube for you guys. So, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it and you want to see it, click off my video right now, pause, go watch it on Hulu, come back and join us, okay? For the rest of you divas, let me tell you, I was not ready. It's supposedly like a horror comedy kind of film, but it had so many truths and depth to it. Whoever the director and creators and producers were, kudos to you. I enjoyed it. Um, it was actually a little gross. Don't watch it while you're eating. Uh, I wasn't ready for some of the gory scenes they had, so I now see why it's classified as a horror film. Yeah, hair and certain liquids should not be mixed. But yeah, if you watched it, please comment below and tell me what your first impression was, what you thought about it, what came to mind. Did you want to get some weave afterwards? But if you don't mind watching this for the spoiler, it is a horror comedy, like I said. I think it was released about a week ago, maybe October 16th or so, on Hulu. The some of the famous actors that you would recognize out the gate was Vanessa Williams, Blair Underwood, Rowland was in it, Usher was in it. Um, who else was in this? The main character, her name is Elle Lorraine. She played a character called Anna. And also Laverne Cox was in this. So, I mean, it had lots of great actors and actresses. It had a couple others that I just did not recognize out the gate, but they did a wonderful job. Well, let me just get into it. So, this movie did an excellent job of showing what every young black girl experiences if she grows up with natural hair and converts over to some type of chemical process. So when you're getting that first relaxer or that first jerry curl, whatever it happened to have been for you, there was always this peer pressure that happened. And this movie does a very good job of showing what it's like to grow up as a black little girl getting pressured into these new trendy chemically treated hairstyles. Not only that, but to get weaves as well. If you grew up in a black household, I know especially in the South where I'm from, yeah, it's kind of taboo to walk around with your hair undone. You know, if it's nappy, if it's unkempt, if you didn't get your hair styled at least once a week, whether it was in cornrows or not, you refresh those braids on a weekly basis so that you look neat. And if you didn't, you got picked at school, you got picked at church, you got picked at in your neighborhood, your family talks about you, everybody talks about you. So there's this pressure to consistently keep your hair very well kept. That's all fine and dandy if it's from a standpoint of keeping it from getting matted, but it sort of crosses a line when they're just wearing their hair naturally and that's how they like it, or they're content and fine with that, and you're pressuring them to get a perm or get a jerry curl or go get some weave. And so this movie did an exaggerated depiction of what that's like. And the main character, Anna, she was like not only physically scarred but mentally scarred. So she experienced some chemical burns as a child getting her first relaxer, after, I don't know what relative, it was like an older sister or something, but the relative in the movie like was kind of talking junk about it, like, look, you need to get this done, we tired of your hair looking the way it is. And then so she gets her hair done and her hair starts to fall out, guys. It is like every girl's nightmare. So Anna goes on about her life. Fast forward to when she's an adult. So now she's in the working world and she has her natural hair because she's been scarred. She never wants a perm again, I imagine. So she has rocked her natural hair into adulthood. Well, this is in an era, I think it's kind of, the setting is probably in the 90s, maybe when like perm weaves were like just starting to take off as like the thing to do. Okay, so it was very, you were the it girl if you got a sew-in weave, or you were the it girl if you had, your hair slayed. So natural was certainly not the thing to wear or rock back then. So even on her job, she was getting ridiculed. Her boss was pulling her aside. People were letting her know, we don't appreciate the way you look. You might want to fix that. So she got so much criticism that she eventually breaks down and says, fine. She caves in. She gets to the salon, guys, and it's like $500 for her to get her hair done. She's like, I can't afford that. This girl in the movie, she can't even like afford her rent. And so to have to go into a salon that her boss recommended, she can't afford it, but it almost seems like she's not going to get a promotion if she doesn't change her hair. I think she's like in the music industry or something, where music videos and being in front of the camera and on television is like part of her duties. So she's got to change and update her look, which I kind of get it. I mean, if you're in, if you're kind of in the mainstream media industry, your look, looks are important, and they probably just wanted her to be very trendy. I get it. But at the same time, the way they treated her was like trash. Like, they just treated her like she was the scum of the earth just because she had natural hair. So, like, again, it's an exaggerated version, but that's what movies do, right? So, and I actually enjoyed watching it. But it does get to a part where it's like, there's some gory scenes, guys. Like, the hair scenes with the fluids I mentioned earlier, that made me want to barf. But I get why they did that. Like, it's intense, but it's meant to be intense. I think that you need to understand the pain that we go through. We have this beauty is pain concept, at least in society, like no pain, no gain. But they took it to an entire new level. So she gets her hair done at this expensive salon. She becomes a charity case, so she still can't afford it. But one of the stylist there finally just caves and says, okay, fine, I'll do it. This will be my good deed for the day, right? So she is in excruciating pain, guys. Like, she cannot take it. I think she was like in tears. She almost faints. She faints or something. So she wakes up and it's like she's a new person, okay? So the hair takes over. In this movie, the hair is kind of like it possesses you because it belongs to someone else. So if you, cut hair off some foreigner and sell it in America as a sew-in, you're taking on the spirit of the hair of the person that it came from. And apparently this hair in particular comes from like this haunted, I don't know, African land far away where, there's this legend of a witch who who this hair comes from. So because this hair comes from some like haunted witch from the past, it just takes over the soul of anyone who rocks this hair as a sew-in. So of course she goes about her normal day. She's getting all kinds of love and attention from everybody, family, friends, her job. She gets a promotion. Like, everybody loves it. They're just eating it up, and she's in pain. She's having to take meds and everything. She can't sleep, and she's in excruciating pain with this hair. This movie was showing how we accept pain and torture in the name of beauty. And it also kind of defines beauty in one way, like straight hair or a sew-in or weave or a relaxer is the only way you can be considered beautiful. So, but in an indirect way, it was sort of zoning in on like the good hair, bad hair, hence the name. Issues that we still deal with. I think we still deal with that today. I mean, comment down below if somebody hasn't mentioned to you before that you need to change your hair. Like, there's people in my family right now that don't necessarily love my hair, but you can't tell me nothing. I mean, look at this hair. But it's a personal preference. Like, I think however you want to wear your hair is how you want to wear your hair. And as long as you keep it up and you keep it clean, I don't think it should be anybody else's business how you wear your hair. But yeah, this movie did a great job of sort of exaggerating the point, okay? It just showed how we will go through great lengths. We will spend, excessive amounts of dollars to have someone else's hair put on our head just to satisfy this unrealistic ideal of beauty for someone else. This girl did not want a sew-in. She was quite happy and content with her hair the way she was. She was very plain Jane, down to earth kind of a girl, and she just allowed the pressures of everyone around her to get to her. But it's almost like she had no choice. I mean, she couldn't move up in her job. She never heard the end of it from her family and her friends and everyone around her. She kept getting dirty looks everywhere she went. So, she was treated like an outcast. And that's kind of what happens, I think, on a systemic, subtle, behind the scenes level in our society, which is really sad. So to me, the movie was quite deep, even though it was kind of funny and gory, and I kind of wanted to barf on some of those scenes when the hair kind of just took over and possessed the person, and it transforms them into like this hair zombie. So the producers had a brilliant idea for the ending. This is the part that impressed me the most. They were showing how hard it is to get off that train. So she finally gets to a point where she's like, you know what, this ain't worth it. I want this mess out. If I gotta cut it out right now in the middle of the night, I am. So she tries to cut it. But of course, the hair is possessed and it like attacks you if you try to do it, right? And it'll attack anyone else that tries to get it out of your head as well. So she can't go to a salon and get it removed. She can't take it out herself. She can't cut it. Like, it literally will turn against you and try to kill you and anyone in its path. So she gets to a point where she just almost wants to give up. She doesn't know what to do. She's being chased now by other hair zombies. And in the end, guess what is the only thing that can destroy this possessed hair? Water. That was brilliant. I loved it. I love how, if you've seen my other videos, there's a video where I discuss how if it was raining outside, I didn't leave the house. Like, my hair, when it was permed and relaxed, like, water is your enemy. So I love the fact that they used water as the only way to break the spell. So it was a great job of exaggerating the point that good hair and bad hair issues in the Black female community still exist today, and it's sad. And we have this unrealistic idea of beauty, and I think we should just embrace whatever styles we enjoy, only if we like that style. So if you like straight hair, go for straight hair. You like curly hair, you go for curly hair. You rock it the way you want, not because someone else told you that you needed to rock that style. So be you, do you. Watch the movie if you haven't. I enjoyed it. Well, that's all I have for you guys. Until next time, bye.